Hey everyone, Eezore here, and today I'm going to be doing one of many different videos for Gems of War on endgame content called meta. Basically, what meta means is whatever people are using right now, just to kind of show what is popular, what people use to win. So, sorry, I'm going to be recording this while I actually play the game, so it's a little more in the moment, so I can show you things. So it is a little bit different video than my usual cut and paste and speak over, but hopefully you don't mind that. So I was going to mention a couple of things that I didn't remember to do beforehand. So you'll see here when I do the PvP, you have the revenge option. Basically what that means is that someone attacked you and they won against you. If you choose to attack them back, you get extra glory versus just the usual. As you can see, I get 7 instead of my usual, it would be 4. So that's always something to kind of watch for. Also, if you do enough, if you go to the Defenders tab at the very bottom, it says Revenge Rewards. For every single person you get revenge against, as you keep going at, like if I win 10 revenges against 10 people, I get 30 souls, so on and so forth. So you just get like bonuses for fighting people who have fought against you. So one thing to kind of watch for, that's leaderboards. I had mentioned also that you get like the passive gold and stuff like that. I didn't get too much into that just because it's pretty obvious. One thing I did forget to mention is that every day you log on, you do get daily gold, and that's based on your, you get 500 to start. Maybe it's not 500. I get 500. I don't know what it actually is lower level, but I get 500 to start. And then it goes based on your guild. So if you go into the guild options, I think it's the league. Yeah, the league. It'll show you at the bottom there your current league, Master 2, promotion, demotion, so on and so forth. You get a daily bonus of extra gold based on how high you are. So we're rank 100, so we're pretty high up there. So we get an extra 220% gold just every single day. The gold amount does go up the more you log in. At 7 days it maxes out. Basically I can get about, I think it's 1600 after 7 days, and I get that every single day just by logging on. You do get glory with that too, and that's where the PvP tier rewards come in. So you start off at 2 at rank 15, and then it goes up by 1 every single time. When you hit rank 1, you get 16 glory every single day you log in. So if you get that on Monday, because everything resets on Monday, you'll get 16 glory for the rest of the week every single day you log in, just for logging in. So one thing I did forget to mention there. Trying to think. Oh yeah, hero. So I completely skipped over the hero, as someone had pointed out, had mentioned, and it's mainly because I don't really use him, and I guess he's really good at first, so I completely forgot all about him. I just pretty much did his stats here. So if you go to the hero option, you can go all the way over to the overview. This is where you see the mastery amounts, like your percentage for getting extra mana surges on colors. You can change your armor in this one, so I have the steampunk assassin and dragon armor. I don't know why I got the assassin armor, but I did. You can choose what they look like, so it can be a couple of different things. I just kind of made mine as ridiculous as possible, as well as my name. It's pretty cool. Then the class. This is one thing I forgot to mention all about. Once you get done with the main story quest in certain spots, you unlock what's called a class, so your hero becomes that class. Right now I'm on Death Knight. So what happens is you can level it up just like a regular troop, so it goes from 1 to 20, and these perks go directly to your hero, so they only affect your hero. After you win so many victories, you unlock 3 different perks there. As you can see, I need 10, 25, and 50. I just started it, like I said. And it gives you certain things. So the top one, it says hero gains plus 8 armor. Hero gains plus 2 magic, and then the hero counts as a knight for team bonuses. This is really, really big because of you have certain cards that give you, hey, if you're a beast or if you're this or whatever, you get bonuses for that. So like I think this one, nope, that's elf. Maybe it's orb weaver. Huh. Well, I thought there was one. Yeah, this one counts as a knight as well. This one beast? Yeah, this one, there you go. This one is beast. So if you become a warden, as your beast master, you can choose to count as a beast. I just set up a beast deck here that I'll show you in a little bit, so you can count as a beast, and it's pretty huge. And then you also get the bonuses, which you can upgrade with the traits and everything like that. They all have their own, so you definitely want to kind of keep an eye on that. And then as you progress through it, like I said, you have to do the 10, 25, and then 50 in order to unlock these perks. The traits are all pretty cool. The bonuses, you can only gain them if it's your active class, and also you have to have level 10 at the Forest of Thorns, or like whatever place it is that unlocks it. So, and then at 250 victories, you do get a unique weapon for that class. So, like for example, this one would be the Dragon Oak. For getting this one, they all have their own thing, and that's pretty cool. You can equip it or you cannot equip it, but the best one that I've seen so far, they're all good in their own sense. You know, they're all like, hey, they're all hit and miss. The Archer, though, has the best one ever, the Bullseye there. 15% chance for skull damage to be lethal, meaning like all you have to do is if you're first up and all you're doing is matching skulls, you have 50% chance to instantly kill whoever you're attacking. So if they have like 300 hit points or whatever, you can instantly kill them. I've gotten completely wrecked with that before, so it's a pretty good little thing there. So just keep an eye on that. I completely, like I said, forgot to mention this. Figured I'd do that real quick before I started going into the end game stuff. So yeah, I did kind of figure out, I did want to touch base on this too, the Soul Forge and Dungeon a little bit more. I know on the expert video I mentioned it, but I didn't really go too much into it. Basically, the dungeon, you can do 3 fights a day, and then there's a daily offer where you can spend $5, get a whole bunch of random things. What it means is that every single day of the week there's a set reward. So today's Wednesday, so today's Wednesdays is the rubies, and then the second one I think is shards, and the last one is diamonds, which are all only used in Soul Forge. So you get 25, 25, 50, so it's like, okay, you know, tough boss, tough boss, tough boss, but they've all been the same so far, so it's not like they're always brand new or they're always randomized. It's pretty much always the same ones. You can choose, once you beat the boss, which, whatever, no big deal, you can actually choose to spend some gems for the rewards, which is pretty cool. I like that actually a lot, because you need a lot of this stuff. So once you get those rewards, and you get a whole bunch of them, as I'd mentioned, you go over here, that level only goes up, and it's based on how many kills you get. So as you see, I just leveled up here, so it's 0-300. You can rush it for gems, which, whatever, no big deal, you just eventually get it anyway. But then on the recipes, you can see, like, at rank 1, you can make minor and major trait stones, which is, you know, pretty useless, but whatever. 2 is brown jewels, blue jewels, so on and so forth. The runic trait stones and arcane trait stones, level 5, is where it's at, though. As I'd mentioned in a previous video, there's no way besides exploring on how to get these. Well, now there is. If you get to level 5, you can start making your own runic and trait and stoic. Oh no, just arcane, I guess. Arcane trait stones. Yeah, they're all the arcane ones. And that is huge because these are the really rare ones that you almost always get stuck on. The runic ones are the ones I always get stuck on. The arcane ones are, I do get stuck on here and there, but not too often. But it's like, these are the ones that I need so freaking many of. I'm so happy that they finally made this system. So, as I said, I didn't go too much into it, but once I started like putzing with it and learning this, I was like, oh my god, I have to say this. So, definitely keep an eye on the Soul Forge. I don't know what level you have to be to originally unlock it, but unlock it as soon as you can. I think it was attached to, let me check here. The dungeon I know is attached to the Drifting Sands. Yep, there's the dungeon. I think it's Blighted Lands? Yeah, Blighted Lands. So once you finish up the quest line for Blighted Lands and go and do the extra little quest after the main quest in it, you'll unlock the Soul Forge, which again is huge. So you can make, like I said, you get those specific gems based on the specific, whatever, the crystals, I guess, for doing it on certain days. Well, then you get the shards up there. So in order to make 10 sapphires, you need 500 shards and 100 souls. Just about everything does require souls in this area, so that is one kind of drawback, the fact that I'm still leveling everything up, so I want to keep my souls versus spend them on here. But you can also make them with just the diamonds, which I have. Looks like I must have a whole bunch of those diamonds. Does it show anywhere that I have them? No, just there. So I must have 760 if that's all I need to do. So I can make 7,600, but I kind of want to save those because you only get so many a day, and they're actually pretty cool, so. But like I said before, you can make the weapons here. So you just click on it and you can choose to do it. They're all unique to this particular area. Huh. The summoning stones just summon a random troop of a specific color. So like if you do blue, it's going to have blue in it at the end. I don't really like that idea so much. But yeah. I know the very last one you can do mythic troops and mythic weapons, and then on rank 9, so rank 9 and rank 10 are going to be really big, so I'm kind of trying to get up there as fast as possible. Hopefully in the next meta video I'll be able to show you what you get for that too, but yeah, I started putzing with this. The more I putz with it, the more I realized how awesome it was, and I felt kind of bad not mentioning it in the last video, so yeah, that's everything I've missed. I'm now going to go into the weekly event. Always pay attention to the weekly event. So like here, oh, you get 1 point for the treasure hunts. So if I just do treasure hunts, I need to get 250 points. So I need to do what, 2,500 turns in the treasure hunts. I mean, it's cumulative. So if I do 50, then 40, then 30, then I still get 12. So cool. Pay attention. I was gonna mention this too, to the bonuses of the week. Sometimes they'll have, like, hey, use certain groups of enemies and you get 100 extra 500 gold or extra souls, or here, extra glory. Glory is huge, so I might actually consider making that a deck around Asha real quick here, just to see what I can do. And just see who gets the bonuses too. This can make or break your day. I actually just made a dragon one, and a lot of them get a boost on that, so yeah. Alright, so I'm going to go into meta here real quick. First things first, I updated my defense team. I just realized that they're low level, so I'm going to start working on leveling them with my extra souls, but regardless, I started off with Celestia, which the ability isn't all that great. Sorry if that mower is coming in or not, but someone's mowing outside. Create 8 gems, give life, cleanse them. Not really all that great, kind of cool. What's really cool is the Celestial Shield. So every time you match a 4 or 5, Celestia instantly gets a barrier. So you need barrier nullifies the first hit of any damage. So if someone hits it for 70, it nullifies all 70 of that damage. So it's really, really fun. That's a giant pain in the ass to when you're defending against it, because if my AI gets even 2, or let's say it's 1, 4, and then they hit a match a skull, they hit me, they break my barrier, and then I match another 4, I get another barrier again, so they basically nullify their entire turn. So that one's pretty cool. This one I've seen a lot of people use. I'm not a big fan of it, but it kind of makes sense a little bit. So you do damage based on the chosen color, remove it, summon, so it can, if they get past Celestia, they can create a new creature, so that's pretty cool. The reducing damage is pretty nice. So like I said, I see everyone using it. I think it's just kind of for defensive purposes. So this one, I realized I didn't have the traits, but I want to get it. This is one of the most annoying defensive cards in the game right now, just because of the dragon vines. If they match a 4 or 5 with this card, you can't attack anymore, and it's ridiculous how annoying it is, because you can't do any damage with skulls. So there's no point in matching skulls. You just have to use abilities. So I'm gonna try really hard. I'm gonna start working on trying to get this one unlocked, because I've seen him all the time, and I actually just got him a little bit ago. That's why he's so low level and under traded. But his ability is pretty sweet, because when you explode a column, you actually get all of the gems you could destroy it with. So it does 10 damage to everything, so 40 damage, and it gives you a whole bunch of gems and powers up all your guys really quick. So, and then of course the Dragon Soul. Like this is one of the, when it first came out, this was the most broken card ever. So immunity to mana burn, whatever, no big deal. The 2 life on 4 or 5 matches, that is one of the best traits in the game. Like any card that has that gain 1 life, 2 life, armor, anything like that, it's so good. But it's the possession that's like, oh my god, you're annoying as hell. I've had to kill this thing one time when I was attacking somebody. 5 times. So it respawned with a 25% chance 5 times. You have any idea how goddamn annoying that was? That was like the worst thing ever. Oh god. So its ability is really nice too. It explodes 9 random gems. Again, you get all of the gems, all of the mana generated from that, so it's so cool. It does 8 damage to all enemies, boosted by dragon allies. Since I have nothing but dragons, and you can see there's the boost ratio over there, it would give me an extra 12 damage, so it does 20 damage to all enemies. And then I gain 15 souls, which whatever is not that big of a deal, but it's the fact that it does so much damage to everything. This ability pretty much is self-fulfilling, meaning that when you use it and you destroy 9 random gems, chances are you're getting a full mana bar again because of that. And if you match a 4 or 5 when it drops, then all of a sudden you get a barrier up front, and now you can entangle the first enemy so they can't match skulls, and you get to go again. So yeah, this is going to be a really good defensive one once I get Sylvanamore, all 3 of the trait stones. So like I said, I'm going to work on getting that done, but just thought I'd show you. I know the last time on the defense one wasn't all that great, but... And as far as your teams, I think the higher level you go, the more you unlock, and I think it's also kingdom base. But I always just, on the dailies, I set up a daily thing, just whatever I'm looking for the day. This one I have people in here. Yeah, see, you can see I put it in here just so I can know that I need to make their traits. So I watch for their trait stones to come up on the weekly glory thing. So, but yeah, if this one's a Fae, and it was blue, but now it looks like it's just Fae. Oh, and I backed out, sorry. This is Broken Spire troops, red, so it would look like... Yeah, it's all 4 red, so you have to sometimes have 4 of the same color, so I did 4 red, and then it works for that. Centaur, Construct, Reduction, so on and so forth. Reduction one's pretty cool. That one's actually... I think I have that one actually today. Yeah, reduce an enemy attack to 0. So what I use is the... Where'd it go? There it is. The Gloom Leaf, which steals armor and attack from all allies. So this was my main card before this last update, like the major update. I did Gloom Leaf, the Silent one, Gorgotha, and then I think I did my hero. And Gloomleaf almost always never died because I would steal so much armor and attack that it would just be so bulky. This is before trait stones too, so it was just overpowered. And then they added on trait stones, which that Thorns one reflects 50% of skull damage. That's a really good defense one. I'll probably be making a another meta. He'll probably be in the next meta video, so watch for him. So update this one, I think it was the Beast. Yeah. So this is going to be one of the first decks I was going to show you. This is good for both offense and defense. It's probably better for offense in my eyes just because of the Boar Rider, but it works really well in defense. I'm sorry, in offense. For defense too, I would switch out the Spirit Fox. I'm going to show you real quick here. There it is. Spirit Fox. For defense, if you chose to do it, just because the Spirit Fox is one of the best defensive cards in the game right now. So, and the reason for that is simply... No, I'll get into that one here in a little bit. I'll talk about that one. So, for offense for this one, basically they're all beasts. So all 4 of them are beasts. They all give extra life to beasts. I didn't get that one, and I think I have him. Oh, he does knights, but still, it's the fact that they're all beasts, so they all would get an extra 6 life once Fenrir is done. Fenrir just has that extra abilities. Boar Rider has the extra armor while defending, extra magic. He does all beasts start with 50% mana, which means that if I do a battle with him, he'll start off at 9 mana, just flat. Just for starting out. He'll start off, I think it's rounded down, so 5, 6, 5. So it starts you off instantly at a giant advantage, but then his ability is transform purple to skulls, transform brown to green, which is really sweet. I really like that. But it gives all allied beasts barrier. So all 4 of your cards will get a free hit. And that's, as I mentioned with the previous card, for the barrier, it's huge, because you can't take any damage. There are ways to get around it. You just have to do like an attack all, and you nullify all 4 of them, but you're nullifying the entire attack. So this is a really good card. I forgot that I didn't level them up, so this is probably going to be after I get done with the defensive team. I'll start doing this one just so I can start getting that. So it's a really, really attacking and defending. This guy's really good in there too, just because it gives ally 8 attack and life, and it's double if it's a beast. Since they're all beasts, they'd gain 16, and I think his, yeah, he's only level 5, so I could get him up an extra 2, so it could get actually 20, which is a lot of extra attack all the time. So I was going to show you that one. That's really good, either one, so start at the bottom here. Alright, I had mentioned in a previous video, goblins are probably one of the most overpowered early offensive cards. And that's mainly because of the fact that if you go, you can do, when you're searching in your cards and your troops, you can do the filters. If you go to Zajian, everything there besides Brian the Lucky, I think, and maybe I guess there's a couple other ones now, they're all goblins. So you just pick whatever 4 goblins you have. The only change I've made to this deck as of right now is, oh, actually I switched them around. There you go. Is that I have the queen. Usually I have the shaman, just so I can gain gems. The extra life is okay, but it's more so making 7 green gems. But she was just too good to pass up. She does 8 damage to all enemies, boosted by ally and enemy goblins. You gain an extra turn, so she could actually do just... she does 20 damage to begin with, since I have 4 goblins. And if they have 4 goblins, they do 32 to all enemies. That's insane. I just got her, so I have to work on leveling her up. Goblin King's pretty nice. He's probably my least favorite one on here. He summons more goblins, gains a whole bunch of life. Like, he is seriously just an insane, like, life monger, because he gains that extra 20 life in the last position, so he'd actually have 68 life, not 48. Actually, I think that is already in there, but... Anyway, the reason goblins are so good is because when you go to bonuses, which is where you can choose the different banners, as you can see, I have Mastery of Nature, so since they're all 4 green, I get plus 25 Nature Mastery, which usually probably gives me like 1 or 2% extra mana surge potential. At my level, early level, it's huge. It gives the King of Goblins, which is a plus 4 life, plus 3 attack, for having all the Zajian troops, because they're all from the same kingdom. And then the Goblin General, which gives an extra 5 armor, 1 life, and 1 attack for having 4 goblins. So you're getting, just by having 4 goblins, an extra 5 life, 5 armor, and 4 attack. Just for having 4 of the same guy. And they're so stupid easy to get. I think the Hobgoblin is a rare. The Boar Rider I know is uncommon. These two are both rare. I'm sorry, legendary. But the Goblin is a really good card to start out, and he's a common. And I think the Goblin Shaman is a really good card to start out. And they're I want to say they're a common card, I think. So Goblin Rocket's a really good one too. You don't get the other one, but it is pretty good. And I see a lot of people using that one instead of Goblin Shaman, but I prefer my Shaman. Well, now I prefer the Queen, but yeah, that's a really good meta attack one. The only downside is that you can get shut down pretty easy. It's really good because all the abilities give you extra turns. So if you use them, you're going to get an extra turn, except for the King. But everyone else will give it to you non-stop. So it's like I really like that. You can use their ability to and keep going. So like the Boar Rider clears an entire row, and that's really sweet because if you can make a 4 when you match the 4, so you do the you clear the board, you get a 4, and so you get a turn, or you can set yourself up for an extra turn the following turn. So god damn it. But yeah, the next one I'm gonna show you for attacking. This one isn't so much for attacking. I was going to show you guys one real quick, just in case you're having trouble getting maps, because this week's event is based around maps. I just got a couple people made a quick deck based on map gaining and some gold. So first off is Tyree. She was always the best one for making maps. Again, there might be better combinations of this. I just threw it together real quick based on what I had and what I thought would work out really well. If you had her greedy, it would work better, but whatever. So she destroys 16 gems. You get that color. So I always try to fill her back up. So if I choose to destroy green, for example, I'll make sure that she gets enough to basically go again. So she'll get 5 gold every time, 20% chance to make a map. Bonnie Rose is only in there for the simple sake of she does damage based on how much gold you have. So she does 15 damage, but then you gain 15 gold, and then the damage is boosted by the amount of gold. So the first time you use her, no matter what, you'll do 15. But then you'll gain 15 gold, so you'll do an extra 7 damage next time, so you do 22. And then you gain 15 gold, and then you do an extra 15 damage next time, so you do 30, and so on and so forth. So, plus the fact that Tyree already gets gold with it, it was pretty huge. So, Little Johnny Bronze, he's a really good one. I like him a lot. It's just, you need to kind of get him going. You need to get a couple of those treasure maps. So you can have at most 10 treasure maps from one fight. So you create 8 skulls plus an extra 4 for every treasure map. So if Tyree's able to go 4 times and give you, let's say, 2 treasure maps, he would then, instead of doing create 8 skulls, he would create 16, which is insane. So, and then the fact that he gets an extra 20% chance to gain a map. So those are the big ones. This one's not so bad. I kind of just threw him in there because he was pretty sweet. The 5 skulls boosted by treasure maps, it works really well with everything else. But then you explode 5 gems, so you get all of that stuff back. It's really, really nice. So he worked out really well with them. But yeah, that was a map one, just to kind of see. In my previous video, the one I have is right here, the Kraken Alchemist Banshee. This one already gives you gold and souls, because the Valkyrie and the Banshee both give you souls, so you almost never win a fight where you don't have max gold and souls you can win in a fight, so I like that one a lot. But going on to a couple of defense teams, the first one I rounded up here is probably... excuse me, I got something in my throat. It's one of the most used. I see this combination, these 3, Valkyrie, Justice, Queen Mab, all the time. Gorgotha's the only one that's kind of interchangeable. Sometimes I see the Emperor, but usually it's Gorgotha just because he can take such a goddamn beating. Pardon my French, but that 75% damage reduction from skulls, it really just shuts you down unless you do massive damage. Like 75% damage reduction. So the Acolyte here that I have pulled up does 24 damage. He would only do 8 damage to him. Well, he's got what, 64 life? That would be 8 hits. Whereas before, which is the 24, it would actually be 4 hits. So it's like, okay, you just, or not 4, 3, I'm sorry. Bad math. So you saved yourself 5 extra turns for doing that. So he's just so freaking broken. And he just fills everyone up. It's so nice. But the reason this one is so popular, the Valkyrie gives, switches everything to blue, as I've said before. But then Justice, there's a whole bunch of elemental construct. I think you can only get these in guild chests, by the way, so make sure you check on those. Oh, I should get the Virtue of Justice. I didn't see that one, actually. Anyway, there's one, it only's got blue, and there's 6 different elemental constructs that come from the guild chest, and they all have their own color. They all do something different too. They all basically create 15 gems, and it's a mixture of whatever color they are, and then of a chosen type. So if you choose to do blue and blue, you'll make 15 blue gems. All other attacks gain 4 life, and attack boosted by frozen enemies. Well, all Queen Mab does when you... excuse me, I am sorry about that. All Queen Mab does when you match 4 or 5 is freeze everyone. So then all of a sudden you have the entire team frozen, so now everybody gets an extra 16 life and attack because it's boosted by frozen enemies. And then Queen Mab, if she's full, which it probably will because you'll be matching blue, can just do her mana burn, and then she gets an extra turn, and then you just do Justice again. Like, the greatest thing about the elemental constructs, I'll get into that the next one. I was going to make that, I think, the next meta video, is the fact that they can pretty much fill themselves up non-stop and keep going. And they all give just massive buffs like this, where it's like, hey, no matter what, you get an extra 4 life and attack. And I'm not even at max level with her. I'm level 5. Yeah, so she can gain an extra 7 life, which I'm guessing... An extra 7 mana, I'm sorry, magic. I think that would probably go into life and attack. I actually don't know where that would go, because she's at 6 right now. So maybe would be 15 gems. Maybe that would go up. Either way, it's just an insane defensive deck. I hate when I see this, when I start fighting it. I pretty much have to target Queen Mab right off the bat, just because whenever I see her in defense, period, because she just shuts you down with that freeze ability. So, that is like the #1 defensive one, and the only reason I went with my dragons is because they have a buff right now for this week. I'll probably end up going over to this one once the buff is over next week. So yeah, definitely if you have those cards, look into it. Gorgatha, you can use anyone up front, just a big heavy tank character, but I used Gorgatha just because he's so good with that. Really any tank would work. It's just the better the tank, obviously, the more viable it would be. So the other one I was going to show you here, again, I don't have Spirit Fox all the way up, otherwise this would be like done. As I had stated before, Spirit Fox is one of the most broken cards right now because of the fact that you start off with full mana. So right off the bat, you can use, as you can see, I have 2. You can do its ability, which is drain, mana, but then you do mana based on how many yellow gems you remove from the board. So that goes directly to their face. So I want to say that the damage is actually, yeah, because that one's not it. The damage is based on the magic, so you can get an extra 2 magic, so you could actually do 9 true damage, plus other factors I haven't taken into account yet. And that's true damage directly to them. So for example, what's a good card here? There you go. Alistair's got 17 life. Yes, he's low level, yes, he's whatever. But that true damage would, based on how many yellow gems I'd get rid of, would almost kill him instantly. Plus it drains his mana, so if they are starting to get some kind of mana, it instantly shuts down their deck. And with his abilities, with Stealthy, you can't actually target them with targeted spells unless there's nothing else. So when there gets to be... Actually, I don't know how it works with multiples that have Stealthy. I should check that real quick. Whatever, I'll look into that and I'll let you know for the next meta video, but you can't target these 2 bottom ones with any targeted abilities, so you can only hit these top 2. And again, Emperor Corvish is such a good card in general for both offense and defense that he's really good there, and then Gorgatha again because he's just the best tank in the game. So yeah, this is a really popular one that I've seen a lot that it almost me down to. There is some variation. I've seen sometimes people use 3 Spirit Foxes and then they use their hero as the tank. There is one hero class, I forget which one it is, that actually gains armor every single time. It's called Plate Ability. That one is just every single turn, no matter what, you get 4 armor or 2 armor or something like that. So yeah, that's usually what I see is those kind of decks. So yeah, as I stated, oh, here's all the hero weapons. I'll get into that next video. I forgot all about that too, but it's starting to get a little long. So there you go. That's the first meta video. I'll probably do another one in a little bit here. I don't know when exactly. I want to try to set up a couple more decks and see what works and see what doesn't. I have to look into that Stealthy if there's... I was also going to research some of them. There's some really weird ones I've seen, like Sacrifice. I don't know why. If you know why, by the way, let me know with the Stealthy one why that is, if you're able to target it or if it just shuts it down, but I think it's called Sacrifice. Let me just check this real quick here. I don't know if it was a glitch in the game or something happened, but I would see this every once in a while when it first came out. You had this one, which is, it's like I said, it's the purple elemental construct from the guild, but it kills the last ally. All allies gain 4 magic boosted by death-marked enemies. I don't know if they just did it so they could like let people win real quick, or if they did it because it was some sort of hack where like it broke the game and they couldn't win. But I would see sometimes where it was just the Sacrifice as the actual defense team. So it was just one card and it was this card. And then what would happen was I never let it... I would always kill it before it could fill itself up, but I always wondered, like, what happens if it kills itself? Does it, like, let me win instantly, or does it sit there and go, okay, well, you can't win now because there's no... Like, does it break it or does it not? I don't know. I have to look in see why that was a meta for a while ago, but if you know, go ahead and leave that in the comment below. If there's any other teams that you want me to cover or anything that you guys know of, go ahead and leave that again in the comments below. If any of these decks are decks that you're probably going to use, go ahead and give me a like, and if there's any adjustments you would make, like I said, leave those in the comments. I'm really interested to see what people would do with this. This is just stuff that I see all the time and stuff that I thought would be pretty good, so probably be 2 weeks out before I make another one of these, just because I don't want to make one every week, because I would kind of get rid of the meta then, where there's only so much that people use and so many good decks. But yeah, I'll try to be somewhat consistent and maybe make like 1 or 2 of these a month. So yeah, if you don't want to miss those, go ahead and give me a subscribe. Check out my other videos. If you're beginning this game, beginner, intermediate, expert, so on and so forth. I did try a different format with this, so hopefully you guys don't mind the fact that it's like a half hour with all this stuff. If that isn't to your liking, leave a comment again there. I'm gonna pretty much just post this raw instead of editing down. So sorry for all the rambling, sorry for all the double talking, the backtracking, stuff like that. But figured I get everything going, and obviously next time will be a lot shorter because I won't have to cover anything I miss. So yeah, that's all I got, guys. Till next time, I hope you enjoy gems, and I'll catch you in the next video.